Hello everyone and welcome to Keto Cooking with Corey. Today we are going to be making a Maple Bourbon Glazed Pecan Crusted Salmon with a side of green beans. Wow, that was a mouthful. And this is going to be a bunch of delicious mouthfuls in a few minutes and I can't wait to start. Time to food. First, of course, I'm going to start by making the pecan crust. To do that, I need half a cup of crushed pecans, followed by 1/3 of a cup of Kiss My Keto Zero Carb breadcrumbs. And straight from my very own garden, 2 teaspoons of fresh thyme. A half teaspoon of paprika. And now finally, I'm going to top this all off with 1 tablespoon of melted butter. And then, of course, some freshly ground black pepper and Himalayan pink sea salt. Extra grind of the salt. I like salty things. Now we're going to want to mix this up. We're going to want to do it very well and make sure that the butter gets incorporated with it all, and then set this aside for just a moment. Now we are going to make the glaze, starting with 1/2 cup of Lakanto sugar-free maple syrup. Lakanto's is one of the healthiest low-carb maple syrups that you can find out there right now. And also, it actually tastes really freaking good. And then the Kentucky Gentleman Bourbon, 1/4 cup. I decided to move the pot here. Nope, never mind. I'm putting it back. Now for number 3. 1/4 cup of Dijon mustard. Just gently plop. Well, yeah, it plopped, I guess. We're just gonna get all that mustard out now. Eventually, I will get all this mustard out and into the pan. I will not let it defeat me. Not today. Good enough. And now finally, 1 large clove of garlic, minced of course. And roughly about a half teaspoon of freshly ground pepper. Then I'm going to stir it up until it is all well mixed. It's gonna look like watered down mustard when you're done. Alright, now I'm going to set this aside so we can start working on the salmon. First, I'm going to lay the 2 salmon fillets skinned down on my aluminum foil lined baking sheet. Yes, rub those salmons. For some reason, we must rub them. Okay, now that I have very thoroughly washed my hands since I decided to pet the salmon, we are going to add a pinch of freshly ground black pepper and sea salt. After that, I am going to very liberally apply some of the glaze to each piece of the salmon. And this time, I kind of actually get to paint my food. Hooray! Don't be afraid to be the artist you truly are. Make a mess on those salmon. Yep, lather it all up. Get all those juices and all those fishy folds. That sounds kind of weird, but it's good, I swear. They are coated beyond anything. They're very well coated. Now I'm going to bring the pecan topping that we made earlier and very heavily coat the salmon with the pecan topping. And good. Now we're going to step them aside so we can start with our green beans. The green beans are actually very, very simple. All we need to do is add some olive oil to make sure that they are all good and coated. I highly recommend using a larger bowl than this. I just really liked the clear glass bowl because I think that it looks good on camera. Results! Bowl and green beans look fantastic and I just look like a goober who is making a mess. Instead of fixing the situation and getting a bigger bowl, I'm just going to add some roasted garlic and herb seasoning. And now, since we learned nothing, time to make a mess again and stir it all up. Now I'm going to add these green beans to the same pan that I have the salmon in, or on. Be careful, those green beans are slippery though. And now, because I'm artsy, I'm going to gently arrange the green beans in such fashion so they please me. Looks good. Time to cook. I have my oven preheated to 425 degrees, and I'm going to place all of this in for just about 12 to 14 minutes per inch of thickness of fish. Ours is about an inch thick, I would say, so we're gonna cook it for about 14 minutes. While that is cooking, I'm gonna bring the remaining glaze mixture to a boil over medium heat on the stove, stirring it frequently. Make sure that you watch it carefully. It will bubble up. Reduce the heat and simmer, stirring it often until the glaze is syrupy and coats the back of a spoon. It shouldn't take more than about 10 minutes. And that's all there is to it. So let's go back to the salmon. And that looks great. So we're gonna go ahead and take that out and set it aside for a little bit so it can cool down. This salmon smells and looks amazing. Also, I don't recommend using these little square pieces of aluminum foil for a larger pan. They keep sliding around too much and it's kind of annoying. They work much better on the smaller pans. Okay, we got the salmon. Now for the green beans. Like I said earlier, they're going to be a little bit slippery. More so now than ever. I am doing my absolute best to get these green beans onto these plates. And by just saying I'm doing my absolute best, I'm just basically failing. But that's all right. And done! We finally got all those gosh darn green beans. Now to add some of that delicious glaze on top of the salmon. A little more. There we go. Okay, now for you. Looks good. More for you. Might as well. Okay, those look perfect and they smell amazing. This turned out even better than I had hoped. Probably the best fillet of salmon I have ever had. Such a wonderfully tasty and nutritious meal. You should definitely try it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. please take a moment to like and subscribe if you haven't already, as I'm just starting out and I could really use the support. If you do subscribe, leave me a comment telling me that you did so that I can respond and thank you each individually. Also, I am always looking for new and exciting things to make or attempt to turn keto, so please let me know if you want to see me make or try something. Thanks again, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye.